Brentocast, Season 2, with your host, Brent Bowers.
Brentocast 56. Today is April the 8th, 2024. It's been one day shy of 2 weeks since the last Brentocast, and I'm just popping in here to update you on the happenings. So I'm sitting outside of the women's clinic. Nancy is about to have her first doctor visit in many, many years. I don't think there's a problem per se, but she's had some things that have concerned her, so I encouraged her to go ahead and have a checkup since it's been so long. You know, she's getting to that age now where we're 54. I mean, it's pretty important to get regular health checkups, and something I neglect myself, because who wants to go to the doctor, right? Too busy living to be thinking about dying. Unfortunately, that can sometimes bite you. So we are trying to just forestall any sort of unexpected illnesses and whatnot. And we're sitting at a really interesting place over here at the women's clinic. It's kind of across from the hospital. What used to be the medical area, that's now these old medical buildings from the 70s. They're nice buildings. They're mostly brick, but some of them have just been converted for storage because people stopped renting them for whatever reason. I guess because they're right across from the multi-million-dollar other clinic right there. And so this is Dr. Shin, who delivered Liam and also Delilah, I think. So two of my offspring, so to speak, have been he has brought into the world. So we wanted to go back to him, and that's where we're at right now. And so we'll just be waiting, and I'll be waiting and updating you on what's going on Brentocast here. All the Brento news that's worthy to print. Some things have transpired that I thought I would talk about. We are wrapping up Delilah's time at All-Star Kids. They just had their Easter, week after Easter holiday, which I think my last entry was probably talking about all that we did for Easter, because it was so epico. I even did a story on BrentBowers.com about it. I need to actually make a gallery, because there were some really good pictures, and I only shared a few pictures on the article, so I may go back and do that. But since that time, we've had a lot more fun days, Delilah fun days, because of that week off. And one of those things was we actually went to Reed's Gold Mine twice. The first time, Delilah fell asleep in the car and just did not feel like waking up. I mean, she's gotten to where now it's really funny. She's avoided the nap. You know, she's getting bigger, and she sometimes doesn't want to do the nap. And then now, the most she would sleep in the car would be 30 to 35 minutes. And the other day, when I took her to Reed's Gold Mine the first time, she fell asleep just as we got there. I tried to wake her up. She was like, no. So we ride, and she slept for an hour and almost 20 minutes. And so now it's like the car sleep has been that thing that's really made her sleep. And I think a lot of it is just the overstimulation, the excitement. And, you know, we do avoid having her have sugar, because it, you know, affects her behavior sometimes. And but lately I've noticed that even when she doesn't have sugar at a certain point, when she gets tired, or I say hungry and angry, she'll start acting a little bit extra. And I wonder if that's not low blood sugar, because she's so active, you know. But anyway, I digress. So the band, the Legends Jam Band, it looks like we're going to at least be able to field a band of 5 guys on May the 11th, and that may be the only time we play live. I hope that's not the case, but my focus, you know, has been and continues to be the actual recording of original music, and we can do that with or without the live performances. Everybody's having fun. It's just hard to get everybody on the same page. And 2 times in a row here recently, the drummer's had issues last minute. You know, he's got a bunch of kids. I only have 2, so I know the drama that comes with that. So, you know, we've had practices without him. Fortunately, the digital piano that I just got a couple of months ago, or a month ago maybe, has a really good built-in rhythm where it follows the left hand sort of keys the bass, and it's doom, 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 and it's got like a nice little rhythm that you can generically play any of the songs with that drum beat. And that worked just fine for practice. And it was an unexpected perk of that keyboard. But working with Mark has been really fun, and being able to be just a backup singer, bass player, not having to carry the load. We were talking about that last night. The time that those guys played our band that was playing the Social Saturdays, I wasn't able to be there one weekend that we were scheduled to play, and Lee and Harrison took over all the vocals, and he was talking about like how much more pressure it was. It's not hard. It's just another thing you have to think about. And man, it's the fun factor goes up and the pressure factor goes down when you're just a backup singer or just a player, I find. But in any case, I was excited to share that. So we're probably, again, not going to be able to practice this week. Maybe we get one full band practice in prior to doing the show on May 11th. But it's an outdoor thing, and there should be plenty of people there. It's, literally behind us will be Baden Lake. The weather should be great if it's not too hot. So I'm looking forward to it. I hadn't played in a setting like that. And if that show goes well, and they do well, I would be able to create more opportunities for us like that to play live out there. Just jam live out there. And it's a whole different kind of fun playing in front of people. But again, not my focus, and I don't know that it'll ever be my focus. I feel like, that we got a guy that played, he started playing, a really young guy. We've started booking it at Loafers, and he does an amazing collection of covers and does a pretty good job of them. But I'm just thinking, like, man, that's a lot of time involved to learn like 30 covers, and the time required. At this point, my mental bandwidth really matters to me. Like, I want to be focused on things that I'm passionate about. And, on that note, I have looked into going back to some sort of online schooling for music. And what I came up with was this mastering.com site. And it's a lot of high level information, but it is like a structured learning path to learn mastering, and then move all the way backwards right down to how to set the microphone up, I guess, for engineering. But it is extremely expensive, and you sort of have to go at your own pace. And they have 2 levels of orientation, and I'll tell you, some things put me off about it other than the extreme price, which I knew what they would do. I'm like, well, they're asking $7,800. I bet you that they'll offer, if you pay it all up front, they'll offer to take $1,000 off. And this is I experienced this in massage school. A lot of these trade schools will do that because I guess people drop out. They want to get that money, and after that, they don't care if you drop out. Well, anyway, I had the first meeting. The guy actually missed our first meeting, and then I finally got up with him. We had like a 15-minute call to set up this other one. That dude never reached out to me. I reached out to him the day of, I'm booked up today. Sorry. I'm like, yeah, you're booked with me. We've been booked for a week. Was not happy about that. And then he decided he could accommodate me yesterday on the weekend. So that was Sunday. And we did finally have our 1-hour meeting. And he did a good job presenting the school. And just as I suspected, if you give them all the money up front, they knock $1,000 off. And then they do offer payments, but without like getting into the weeds and telling him my income and all that stuff. He wouldn't give me the specifics. I know that it's probably like paying it off over 6 months, and I'm like, no. I could do that today if I've got enough, PayPal credit to do that, but who wants to be making $1,000 payments every month for 6 months? I'm not going to do that. So the information's good. The community looks good. That said, I do think they offer a ton of free videos, free 10-hour courses, this, that, and the other. If I took all their free stuff, it would probably take me 5 or 6 months to get through it anyway. So I think what I'm going to do, my approach is going to be, I need to learn the things I need to learn. Like, for example, setting up my room. My recording room has not been set up. In other words, with sound dampening and things to make it easier to master in. So that is step one. Another thing that these guys do and say that really kind of bugs me is they're like, your DAW doesn't matter. Your DAW doesn't matter. Can you hit record? Can you add a new track? Then that's all you need to know. And I'm like, nah, it's far from that. If you want to really be able to take advantage of the new software, you have to go deep on these DAWs and stuff. And I just think for the kind of money they're asking, and I already fundamentally disagree with one of the major principles, I think it would be wiser of me at this point to take the free training, get through all that, see if I can set up like 5 hours a week that I put on that starting, after this May the 11th thing, and see if I can dedicate that time and go through those courses. I mean, you know how hard it is to sit through a 6-hour video or a 10-hour video. I mean, obviously that's many sittings, right? But see if I can do that, and then that way I find out if it's too much for me or that method doesn't work for me. As far as the perks that you get for being on their app, it's just an app that takes you to a hidden website, and videos, and then there's forums, and then there's live calls. Well, the live calls, you only have access to those for like 2 years, or as far as being on them live, you can watch them back. And supposedly they really taught this, you got lifetime access and all this to the information and the videos and all that. And I'm like, they don't have a job placement. They have they have other courses that are additional charges, how to basically monetize your hobby essentially. So anywho, I think it would be kind of foolish to put that money in there now, unless I was able to just kind of do all the free stuff and then put the money back so that I'm not going into debt for it. And then maybe, I don't know. I just, again, good quality training, but not really something I'm willing to pay such a huge amount up front. Like, there's no, so they call it one-on-one group chat. And I'm like, that's not one-on-one, dude. That's one on however many people show up. Even if you can raise your hand, on Zoom call and ask a question, there's no guarantee that you will, or you'll even get picked for your question to be, responded to. So, I think that's a bit of an oversell, and the whole thing was very slick, and I suspect this is a commission based kind of thing. They can't have all these guys out there. How do they pay these guys? But I was doing the math. They said they had 1,200 students at the time, and paying if you paid the full price at 1,200 students, that would be close to $2 million. So you can see it's a big business. But I'm not quite gullible enough. I'm not saying that they're not legit. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense for me. Gosh, I didn't want to rant on this. It seems like I have. But anyway, back to music and the plans for the week. So I met with the V-Hill brothers this week. They were in town, and all three brothers that were on the project. It was nice catching up with them. I'm going to try to go have dinner with them tonight at the Cuban restaurant if that works out. And we will just go from there on that. They're only in town for a short time, and they're traveling for a lot of that. So we're not doing music stuff. But, what else? Oh, I have gotten onto a new TV show called Tokyo Vice. It's not anything it's well made. And of course, me having been in Japan for so long, it's interesting to me. And it definitely sucked me in. But as it goes on, it got more, I guess, woke and worldly, and I'm like, you don't have to have a gay character in everything. There's no point in it if it doesn't serve the story. It's just you trying to check a box as a producer. So I've gotten behind that, and I've watched the show, and I feel like I'm at the end of the second season, getting pretty close. So I'm going to finish off this season and try to find something more wholesome to watch, probably. I'm trying to think what else I recently got through. I enjoyed Halo Season 2 a lot. Very much like the video game. Enjoyed it. Good story. Good sci-fi. And there's a few things that I have way too many subscriptions right now. But it seems like everything is going to be under the Disney banner. Now Hulu is going to be under Disney, which I had that separately. So right now we've got Peacock, Hulu, Disney, Netflix, Max, which has a bunch of stuff under it, and I've got DirecTV active right now because we're having Delilah so much in the summer. But I'm probably gonna have to winnow some of that down because it's getting crazy. I've yet to cancel my Creative Cloud, which is $60 a month, and but I have seen a path where I can get a light version of Photoshop that you just pay a one-time fee for, and you don't have to pay a subscription. And that's relatively a new discovery. And so Photoshop being the main thing that I use, out of that, I don't edit video every week on my computer. I do it on the phone a lot. So I'm going to reach out and see about saving that money. I've recently gotten into Cubase, and one thing that Cubase does that I really need, it's a virtual composition tool, which is deep. I'd have a hard time learning it for sure, because it's just my mind is geared toward Adobe, and if it's not working in layers, it's a little different for me, but I can figure it out. But they have really cool automated harmony tools. So if I have a vocal, I can just automatically tell it, give me 3 or 4 harmonies. Now, the thing about my particular use case for that is that I can sing, if I can hear the notes, I can sing it exactly like that. So being able to sing my own harmony would be much easier. It's the finding the harmony notes that I have difficulty with. Typically, if I hear a lead vocal and I go to sing a harmony, it will be a third. If I turn the lead vocal off and try to harmonize to the harmony, that'll end up being a fifth. But there's other things in between there, some more dissonant harmonies and stuff that I wouldn't hear. So if I could automatically do this anywhere I wanted a harmony, that'd make it a lot easier for me doing my own backing vocal, I guess is what I'm getting at. Still, fighting the good fight with Studio One, trying to figure out how to do some things on the board that aren't so easy. We generally record us with a room mic every time we jam, and that's been fun, sort of hearing us come together as a live band. So we have really, really enjoyed that, and I think I speak for everyone on that. It's just getting us all in the same room at the same time has been challenging, but that's just the way it goes, when you work a day job, and everybody apply that to everybody. But I hope that we can hold it together. I tell those guys, I think just the way we're writing, if we have a year that we play together, at the end of that year, we could have a really good live-ish album, I think. And I think everybody is down for the cause with that and is interested in that, so that's cool. The weather has been glorious in North Carolina this week. I mean, it's been like, we had 2 hot days, and then it got where it was like reaching 80, and now it's like back in the low 70s, and like right now, for example, it's probably about 60 degrees, and it'll probably get up to 67, 70 today. Maybe the highest would be 77. So not too hot, not too cold. Very, very nice. And the weather is beautiful. Super blue skies, just pillowy clouds. It's like if you painted a picture of nice weather, this is what it would look like, Nobody sweating, nobody freezing. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I try to enjoy this because the weather seems to be on a changing trend. When I was a kid, it was much cooler. And I don't know, I just want to enjoy the good times while we have them. And it's like this whole health thing with Nancy. I was telling her, hey, don't waste your weekend worrying about it. I don't think it's anything. Until it's anything, until you have some issue, don't fret about it. I think that's good advice for anyone. So we finally made good on our promise to visit Rekindled Church. The one Sunday that the preacher was not there because he was ill, but they had a speaker from the Gideons, and I enjoyed that, talking about distributing the Bibles and stuff and the value of that. I'm definitely behind that program for sure. Talked to Braden a little bit, and it was nice to visit. And I think we're going to I have 2 other churches I promised to visit. I'm going to try to knock those out. We were talking, Braden and I, about how people say, oh yeah, I'll come see you, and that's sort of a kiss off. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, you invite me to church, yeah, I'll come, and you say it and you don't mean it. Well, I intend to follow up when I say things like that, so I don't want to be a person known for just saying, oh yeah, he'll get to it right. I want to be a person that's known for, if he says he'll do it, he'll do it. And that's just being a straight shooter right there, in my humble opinion. But I guess that's going to be the update for now. Pretty excited, having a good time, feeling good, no pains. So life is good, God is good, and just enjoying the summer with Delilah. Probably going to do some fun stuff next weekend. We're taking off and supposed to be staying in Mount Airy Saturday night, so that'll be the rare getaway that me and Nancy just go where we don't have Delilah. But if we have a good time up there and we like that, if we feel like it's a good fit for her, we'll take her back, because it's only a couple hours away. So that's what's going down, and I'll update you guys when there's more to update you guys on. Hope everybody has an amazing week. Once again, thanks for listening to Brentocast. Brento out.